they're going to keep winning, and we're going to keep winning, and then we're going to win so much that eventually you're going to get tired of winning. That's what Arne Slot is saying right now to Liverpool fans. And one loss in the entire season, the win streak continues to roll on. And I think I read somewhere that this is the longest win streak that we've been on for a long, long time in Liverpool history. I could have swore that Jurgen Klopp's side, where we won it so early on, had a pretty long win streak too. But I could be wrong. You guys let me know. But anyway, fabulous game today at Anfield. Absolutely fogged out. I could barely see anything on my stream that I was watching on. But I think it added to the mystique of the game, and a very tricky game for Arne Slot. But he was able to adjust, and he was able to figure out how to break down this Leicester team where teams like Nottingham Forest in the past, right? The only loss that we have all season, he's had challenge, or in that game, he had challenged with that, which gives me a lot of confidence the next time we see a low block team like that, who are going to sit back, try to snatch goals, play on the counter attack, that we have a solution for it. And Arne Slot, he just adjusted, and he continues to come up with solutions over and over and over and over and over. And I don't think there is a team in this league right now that Arne Slot cannot figure out. I truly believe that right now. And I don't think there's a team in the Premier League, and maybe in the world, that are performing better than this Liverpool side right now. Every single player, and the commentator that in the stream that I was listening to said it perfectly. There is a balance to this Liverpool team, right? There is a balance to this Liverpool team. I know Mo Salah gets a lot of the goals, and I've been one to complain about that, right? And I don't know how you can complain about that. Maybe I'm a spoiled brat. But every player always has a moment where they step up and they turn up big for the club. Even a Darwin Núñez, who isn't having the greatest season and didn't have the best game, has turned up in his moments and got things done today. Today, that was Alexis McAllister and Cody Gakpo, right? In a very difficult to break down Leicester side, low block, stealing a goal early, terrible weather conditions, they were able to step up and make a huge contribution. McAllister was everywhere today. And Cody Gakpo with a goal and an assist, coming up big, hitting an absolute bomb from deep, and then setting up that Mo Salah goal. Absolutely outstanding. But the way that Arne Slot was able to adjust from playing through the middle, which I'll talk about how we've handled those things in the past, but instead playing through the wings instead of from the wings. And I'll talk about what I mean in specific of what that means in a second. But total dominance for Liverpool, nearly 80% possession. But I would be amiss if I didn't bring up Ruud van Nistelrooy and his boys. And I expect them to stay up. They looked actually pretty good today, and they're tough to beat. They're a tough to beat team, and we had to score some pretty special goals to even get past them. They look a team that could survive the drop. But if you're brand new here, make sure that you are liking, commenting, and telling us where you're watching from. This thing is going all around the world. Shout out to some of the followers that I wrote down this time from Antigua, Trinidad, Hong Kong, and Berlin, guys. All around the world, from the Caribbean all the way to Hong Kong. You guys are crazy. Make sure you guys put down where you're watching below. Maybe you will connect with somebody that's in your area, or maybe even in your city. That's what this channel is all about. Unconformed is not conforming to the usual way that we do football. When we talk about football, we do it our way and do it our own way. And while you're down there, make sure you put your thoughts down on this match. Who was your man of the match? Where do you see this Liverpool side going? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Some of the best takes that I've heard has come from, or read, has come from these comments down below. So let's talk about the game. This was the first time that this Liverpool side actually looked frustrated all season, right? We saw this a lot with Jurgen Klopp, right? When he would struggle with a lot of these low block teams. These low block teams would absolutely punish us a lot of these times. And that was our kryptonite. And we never really ever were able to find a solution on how to beat these types of teams. Inverting Trent was one of those things that worked sometimes, didn't work all the times. But this was the first time that I seen Slot really, or this Slot side really start getting frustrated with the low block side. And you could see the frustration was growing and growing and growing until Cody hit that banger from long distance, which I think changed the course of the game. But I don't know, because obviously we have the master tactician in Arne Slot as our manager, and I would love to have seen what adjustments he would have made had that goal not have gone in. But I guess that's for another day that we'll eventually have to see where Arne Slot's mind goes. Going in 1-0 down against a tough to break down team, terrible weather conditions, and all of these things that are kind of going against you. But Cody Gakpo, beautiful goal. And speaking of the goals, let's talk about it. Cody Gakpo with a banger. And he keeps working on that cut inside right foot curling shot. It could be up there in contention with Mo's in the team of Mo's left foot when he curls it in. He still has to work on it. Mo's is like it's a death sentence. When Mo gets it, it's like you give him enough space. Mo's putting it in the bottom left-hand corner or the top left-hand corner every single time. I think Cody has potential to be that dangerous with his right foot. I love that he keeps trying it over and over. There's some fans that don't love it. I love it. And it's dangerous. Even if it doesn't go in, it puts everybody in dangerous positions for a rebound, maybe. But loved that goal. He was fantastic today. Close to being my man of the match. I'll say for me, he's my man of the match. Maka was very close. Maka was everywhere. He was a dog, getting into challenges, doing smart tackles to bring players down. Got 2 assists today as well. But Cody, I think, was the difference maker for us today and helped dig us out of that tough spot exactly when we needed. That goal was so well timed. So for that, I'm giving him the man of the match. If you don't agree with me, please put down below who your man of the match was and why. Tell us why. Speaking of Mo Salah, let's talk about the Mo Salah goal. The king. What can you say? Beautiful finish and shouldn't even be scoring from that angle if we want to be honest. That's absolutely outrageous. And his legend continues to grow over and over and over. Every game by game, he just becomes this enigma. And he was on his game today. Some of the most beautiful touches that I've seen from him today. Sometimes his touch can be a little bit heavy. His touch was beautiful today. And I just love it. Gave us some tricks as well for some of the haters that people were saying, I don't care how many goals Mo Salah scores. He'll never be Eden Hazard. He'll never be Thierry Henry. Well, suck on that. He's just going to break every record, and then you'll have no choice but to name him the GOAT. And he's going to keep doing it as long as he's at Liverpool. And the Curtis Jones goal. I said it in the first half in my notes, if you saw that post. Curtis Jones just needs to work on being dangerous. That needs to be his MO. He needs to be the ghost in the box. He needs to be the Frank Lampard of our team, where he's ghosting in, third guy into the box, fourth guy into the box, and being dangerous. Because he has this very special ability to find space where there is none. To find space where it's extremely crowded, extremely tight. Not only that, and keep it. That's also could be his weakness, where he doesn't know how to release the ball in those situations. He holds on to it for too long, but his finishing ability is invaluable. It's almost like a forward, right? He has to find more ways to score more goals like that. Beautifully worked through the wings, down the wings. It's bona fide slot ball instead of from the wings. In the first half, we were working from the wings, just launching crosses. Instead, Slot made the adjustment and said, let's play 1-2s down the wing. And that's when you saw the combination of Salah, Jones. You saw Trent get in the mix with it, and they were able to create more chances and more opportunities from there. Absolutely beautiful work from there. Both goals came from that tactical tweak and adjustment. And of course, the first goal in the 6th minute, tough from VVD and Robbo. I would blame VVD just a tad bit more than Robbo. I know most of you are going to tear Robbo up, but the ball coming in that IU received should have been cut out by VVD if you go back and look at that. 9 times out of 10, VVD is intercepting that. I think that Robbo is probably expecting a VVD interception and isn't expecting to be taken on, spun, and then finished on. But what can you do? We continue to march on. It's going to be an area that I'm sure Arne Slot will address, that getting Andy Robertson an understudy, because I still think he's got it. I don't know. You guys, let me down below. Does Robbo still got it? I want to say yes. He's my boy. Robbo is the man. I don't think he leaves. I don't think he should leave. I think he's perfect for the team. He's good for the culture. He's good for the morale. But he does need an understudy. But one key thing that I want to give you guys before we talk about what's next is I love Slot's unpredictability. I think that's his biggest trait, because he will play different styles of football in football matches, which is a huge contrast to how a lot of the modern coaches are kind of doing their thing right now. You look at Ange Postecoglou, you look at him. This is a great example of Ange is a guy that sticks by his guns and he refuses to change the way that he plays. Where Arne will literally change the way that he plays mid-match. Right? And we're coming from this era of where so many guys are taking influence from Pep, where Pep is like, it's my way or no way. And Arne is almost like a new age kind of version of the manager, where sometimes we'll play tiki-taka. Sometimes we'll play a counter-attacking football. Sometimes we will hit it long. Sometimes we will work it down the wings. Sometimes we will crowd the middle. It depends on the situation, and it depends on the personnel on the field. And the fact that these players are smart enough to play in so many different styles of ways is a massive credit to this team. And they're really fucking good. Let's be honest. This Liverpool team is really good, and I don't think they get enough credit. I am so happy with Arne Slot and this Liverpool squad right now. The sky, I think, is the limit for them. So what's next? 7 points clear. We have the chance to get to 10 points clear. I said it before. I'll say it again. Arsenal were never ready. They will need to have a whole overhaul of how they think as a club, as a fan base, how their players think. It's all backwards for me right now. And I've said this since last season. The mentality needs to change or they'll never be champions again. And you can mark my words on this. I don't care if you're an Arsenal fan watching this, you don't love what I'm saying. That's okay. Write it down below. Cuss me out. Whatever you want to do. But this is what I feel. You can't celebrate draws. You can't try to win 1-0, 2-0 off of set pieces. It's backwards type of mentalities that you guys have going on. And it's two completely different issues that you had from last season to this season. This season, you're too defensive. Last season, you guys were way too cautious in celebrating draws and trying to eke out results. That is no way a champion wins a title. Take it from Jurgen Klopp. Take it from Pep Guardiola. None of them have ever won titles playing that way. Chelsea are too young. They have and we have no idea what's going on with Manchester City. I think Chelsea have a lot of potential. Too young. You can see it today. Completely took the foot off the gas. I watched the end of that one. Chelsea just took the foot off the gas, let Fulham get back into this game, and let them just bombard that left-hand side. Some of the laziest play that I've seen from Enzo, from Palmer, who scored a fantastic goal today, but was extremely lazy in the middle of the park, and let Fulham get back into the game where they snatched the victory from them from home. That cannot happen if you are trying to win a Premier League title. And they say they're not in the title race anyway, so they probably don't care. This is Liverpool's title to lose. And from here, it's up to Arne Slot on the field and those boys, and it's up to FSG to get some of this stuff, the off-the-field stuff, sorted immediately. That means contracts. That means reinforcements in January. The ball is in our court. It's up to us to secure this title now. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you comment down below who your man of the match was, what you guys think about this match, and what is your prediction for the West Ham game coming up. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Boom.